let's go ahead and get started. So, why are each of you here for summer school? Most of you are enrolled for one of two specific reasons. One, perhaps to move ahead in your coursework in order to create more room in your academic schedule for next year. Or, most of us are probably here to recover academic credits. But regardless of why we're here, here's what we know. You all want to be successful in your summer course. After all, listen, summer school runs for 6 weeks. You're about to invest up to 6 weeks of your personal time, not to mention the money you or your parents spent on course registration fees. Let's make this count. But most importantly, please know that we, your facilitators, want you to be successful in your summer course. So, what's the purpose of today? Each of you have 24 days to successfully complete your summer school course. However, today is not one of them. Today, it's more important that we do the following. Most importantly, we want to make sure that you are enrolled in the correct course. Perhaps you registered for the wrong class. Perhaps mom or dad accidentally clicked the wrong class. Perhaps your counselor accidentally recommended you to take the wrong class. Or perhaps Mr. Pigman, the summer coordinator, enrolled you in the wrong class. So there's a lot of different human error that could have played. So we need to make sure you're enrolled in the correct course. Next, we want to make sure that you fully understand the policies, procedures, and expectations of what we expect in our summer school online program. We want to ensure you have all the materials and resources needed to begin working on your course. And lastly, we want to make sure that you're comfortable logging in to the Apex Learning System. Okay? Again, we want to make sure that your goal is accomplished, whether it's to pass and do well in your course, to build a room in your fall or spring schedule, or perhaps it's to recover an academic credit. Regardless, to help accomplish either of those goals, we need to go through some of these main items today before we allow you to start working. Okay, let's examine our folders. Let's take a moment to confirm that each of you have the following documents properly assembled inside your folder. Facilitators, go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes to make sure that everyone has the following documents inside their course folder. Excellent, we're back. So, we have everything we need in our folders. Let's go ahead and continue moving forward. Okay, next we want to examine Apex Learning. The name of the program each of you are going to use to complete your online summer school course is called Apex. The basic structure of Apex, each course contains on average between 6 to 8 main units of study, with the last unit always culminating in your final exam. Each unit ends with a test, and then all of the units are made up of lessons, and each lessons are made up of activities, exercises, text to read and study, and then all the lessons end with the quiz. Basically, it's the same kind of setup you would have in your traditional learning environment, except this is just in a digital learning environment. Interesting fact about Apex, most of you have probably heard of Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. Well, the co-founder of Microsoft, Paul Allen, is the founder of Apex Learning. Kind of just an interesting random tidbit for you. Okay, all of you are probably wondering, well, how is my grade determined? So let's examine your final grade. Your final course grade is calculated based on two areas. 80% of your grade is going to be based off of how you score on your online quizzes and your online unit tests. Notice, students that are in an English course have to take 2 end of the unit tests. One is going to be computerized, and the second test is going to be written. Why? Because you're in an English course. You need to get more experience writing. And then 20% of your grade is going to be calculated based on how you score on the final exams. And most of the courses have 2 components to the final exam, a computer component and a written component. Little caveat down here at the bottom, any student enrolled in an online math course is going to take our traditional Leiden final exam. So students in math, when you get to the point in your course where you're ready to take your final, instead of taking the final that is created by Apex, you're going to use our own Leiden final. So no surprises on grades. Again, 80% is based on your semester work, which in online is quizzes and tests, and 20% is based on your final exam, just like it is in a traditional class that you take during the school year. Okay, let's examine our yellow syllabus. Facilitators, go ahead and pause the video and provide the students a few minutes to grab their yellow syllabus out of their folder and read through it on their own. Excellent, we're back. Okay, on the back side of that syllabus, you read 6 main summer school expectations that we expect you to follow in order to help you be successful in your class. Which of those 6 expectations do you think is the most important? They're all important, but which one do you think is the most important? Think about that for a second. Okay, I'll tell you, the most important expectation is note-taking. In an online environment, especially using the Apex Digital Learning System, you are kind of like your own teacher. And so because you're like your own teacher, in order for you to get engaged and to become familiar with the course content that you're studying, you have to do a good job of taking quality, organized notes. And we'll talk more about note-taking here in a little bit. Okay, let's examine the pink summer school calendar. Facilitators, again, go ahead and pause the video, provide your students some time to grab the pink calendar and give them a few moments to read and reflect over this handout. All right, we're back. Okay, question for you on the screen. What is the single coolest thing about taking an online summer school course? Think about it. Based on the information on this sheet, what do you think is the coolest thing about taking an online summer school course? Okay, I'll tell you. As it said on the sheet, as soon as you finish your course, you no longer need to attend summer school. So again, our summer school runs for 6 consecutive weeks. If you finish your online summer school course in 5 weeks, you don't need to attend that 6th final week. Okay? A lot of you guys are dual enrolled though. Remember, if you are enrolled in the morning session and the late morning session, you have to work on both courses concurrently. So if you're enrolled in Algebra 1, Semester 1 in the morning, in English 1, Semester 1 in late morning, you have to be working on both of those courses concurrently. And the session that you no longer will attend will be the one that you specifically completed your course for. Okay? So that's a pretty cool carrot. As soon as you finish your class, you don't have to attend anymore. So use that as extra motivation. Alright, we mentioned it before that single-handedly one of the most important aspects of taking an online course is note-taking. And the style of notes that we expect each of you to take while working through your course, whether it's math, English, social studies, an elective, a science, is the Cornell notes. Most of you are familiar with how to take Cornell notes. If you're not, ask your facilitator. They can give you tips. In addition, though, on the inside page of the Cornell notes packet that you have, there's just a template with an example of how to take Cornell notes, some tips and strategies, etc. So we encourage you to read through this example template of Cornell notes before you start on your own. But once you're ready to start on your own, you have plenty of note organizers in your packet to get you started, perhaps through the entire course, if not at least through half your course. And if you run out of Cornell notes, in all of your classrooms, your teacher has extra blank Cornell notes that you can use and just staple to your packet that you have in your folders right now. Also, please remember that in all of the classrooms, we have additional note organizers that we encourage you to use. Vocab charts, compare and contrast organizers, concept maps, timelines, etc. You don't need to ask your facilitator, just walk over, grab them. We love to see that. Take the initiative yourself. Okay, so how should you as a student be spending time each day in your online course? Let's take a look at step 1. Study and engage yourself inside each Apex lesson. So what does that mean? Well, it depends on the course you're in. It depends on the lesson you're working on. Some lessons might have you listen to podcasts, watch videos, complete check your understanding problems, other practice exercises, whatever it might be, engage in each APEX lesson. Step 2. As you read the lesson, take out your Cornell Notes packet and begin recording key information. Okay? Remember, in all of the classrooms, we have extra note-taking organizers you are welcome to use. Step 3. If you're enrolled in an English or math course, there's going to be a little bit of extra work you have to complete. Okay? If you're in an English course, we're going to require you to do a little bit of extra writing. And if you're a math course, we're going to require you to do end of each lesson practice exercises. Just like you would in a regular traditional math class, your teacher's going to assign you homework after each lesson. That's the similar format here. So if you're in English or math, you're going to read the lesson, you're going to take Cornell notes, and then do a little bit of extra work, either in extra writing for English or practice problems in math. And then step 4, as we mentioned earlier, every lesson ends with a quiz. Now, the cool thing about quizzes is we encourage you to use your notes on quizzes. So please take good notes. They will come in handy. Remember, if you fail to pass your quiz within 2 attempts, your facilitator is going to require you to perform extra work to make sure you fully understand the concepts in that lesson before they give you a 3rd and final attempt. Alright, we're almost done. Hang in there. Some tips and tricks that we want to share with you to help you be successful in your class. Every single day before you start working, you should open up your activity scores report. The most important part of this report is the due date column. In this column, it clearly tells you as a student what it is you should get done each day. And if you could follow this calendar, you will surely successfully finish your class by the end of summer school, July 17th. Now, it's also a cool guide to use. Maybe some of you guys want to make it your goal to get done in 4 or 5 weeks. Well, then it'll also tell you how much you have to get completed in order to exit your class prior to the full 6 weeks. The second tips and tricks. We have a no music policy, a no cell phone policy, and a no watching YouTube video policy. Okay? I know it sounds harsh, but you have to remember, you're here for 2 reasons. 1, to recover your academic credit, or 2, move ahead in your coursework. And we can't allow these distractions to come into play because these are the things that will prevent you from successfully passing your class. Now, your facilitator might designate certain days during summer school or certain times during summer school where they allow these things. That is up to your facilitator, but you can most likely assume they are only going to allow those students that are at least on pace or ahead of pace the right to listen to music, use their phone, or watch a YouTube video. Okay? Keep in mind though, if you are dual enrolled, feel free to use any of these devices in between summer school sessions. The next tip and trick, take your time on quizzes. Use your notes on quizzes. Please remember, if you fail to pass a quiz within 2 attempts, your facilitator is going to require you to do extra work. Not because they're mean, but because if you didn't pass your quiz with a 70% or higher after 2 attempts, that means you don't understand the material. And so your facilitator wants to make sure and help you understand your material. So what sort of things might they require you to do? They might have you redo your notes. Take notes using a different style, maybe using a compare and contrast diagram, concept map, vocab organizer. They might sit down and talk through the lesson with you. They might sit down and go through your quiz with you, help you understand why you got something wrong. Regardless, you can always assume that your facilitator is going to require you to do extra work before giving you that 3rd and final attempt. So I encourage you to take good notes so that you do a good job on your quizzes on the first try. Okay, the last tip and trick. When it comes to the final exam, you are allowed a 1-page support supplement. You can put whatever you want on that support supplement. Go back, look at your Cornell notes, write down key vocab, key dates, key events, key people, key concepts. Take advantage of this opportunity. Remember, 20% of your final grade is how you score on the final. Okay? Lastly, if you want to finish your course early and take that final exam early, consider spending time outside of the 7:30 to 10 or the 10:10 to 12:40 summer school session. We encourage you to spend time outside of class working. Just remember, the only actions you can complete outside of summer school are quizzes. You're not allowed to take tests or the final exam unless you're with your facilitator during summer school. Okay? Facilitators, go ahead and pause the video and take a few moments and go through the Summer School 2014 orientation questions, answers, and extra tidbits with the students. Okay, we're back. All right, now it's time to get down to business and practice examining APEX, the system we're going to use to help you be successful in your course. There's 3 steps you're going to do to get going into APEX. Step 1, you're going to log in. I encourage you, once you log in, to save the site address, apexvs.com, to your favorites bar. Step 2, it's going to ask you to create a new password, one that only you know. Please write it down so that you don't forget it. If you do, not the end of the world. Your facilitator can look it up for you. In step 3, just an added security measure, it's going to have you create 2 of your own personalized security questions with your own personalized answers. Facilitators, go ahead and pause the video and provide the students some time to work through steps 1, steps 2, and step 3. All right, we're back. Almost done, I promise. Steps 4 and 5. This is one of the most important parts of today. We want to make sure that you are 100% accurately enrolled in the correct course. Again, maybe mom or dad registered you for the wrong course. Maybe you did. Maybe your counselor did. Maybe Mr. Pigman did. So we want to catch that error before it's too late. So please confirm that the course you see on your screen is the correct course that you should be taking. Next, you're going to go and you're going to kind of view, if you recall earlier in the video, I showed you that progress activity report where it tells you your grades, but it also tells you the due dates for every assignment you have to complete. So facilitators, let's give the students an opportunity to complete those 2 steps. Remember, inside your course folders, you have a transcript. If you're taking a class to recover academic credit and you're not sure if you're in the right course, we encourage you to look at your transcript, find the name of the course that you didn't successfully pass either last spring or last fall, and that is most likely the class that you're supposed to take. If you have any doubt in your mind, let your facilitator know, and if they're not sure, they'll let Mr. Pigman know, and before we do anything and allow you to start working in your class, we'll verify you that you're enrolled in the correct course. So facilitators, go ahead and pause the video and provide the students some time to complete steps 4 and 5. Beautiful. You guys are doing great. We're almost done. There's just one more thing to discuss. Last summer, we had a 93% success rate. What does that mean? That means 93% of students who took an online summer school course successfully finished and passed their course. Hooray, that is absolutely awesome. Okay? But I have high standards for you guys. All of your teachers, your facilitators have high standards for you guys and for themselves. We want to make it our goal to have as close to 100% success rate. Okay? So help us improve. Be present every day. Be productive and engaged. Be respectful. Last but not least, please know you can do it. Whether you're recovering a class that you didn't pass before or you're trying to work ahead, you can do it.
Well, it's official. I'm out of made-up grades. Oh, sure, I could give you a triple Z minus, but with so many failed grades, we're beyond that. There's nowhere left to go but summer school.
Summer school? I can't do summer school, because that's like school in the summer. And summer's the time in a young boy's life when they make the fondest memories. Catching fireflies, making s'mores, playing catch with their dad. All times they can look back on later in life when they're old and stuff, like you.
Now, let's go to the principal's office and get you signed up for summer school.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. I promise summer school with us over the next 6 weeks, or perhaps earlier if you finish your class ahead of schedule, is not going to be that bad. Let's work together, you as a student, us as the facilitators, to make this an enjoyable, successful, and productive learning experience. Good luck.